What's up, y'all? This is your girl OVO Lemonade. Here's part 3, and I think after this will be the ending of the interview. Enjoy.
I'm in now, because everybody wants a villain, and everybody wants there to be a victim. But it's rarely who you think it is in Hollywood marriages. So when my first marriage ended, my publicist just got to the microphone first. Nobody heard about everything that I just told you guys. What they heard was, he never contributed to the household. Then they used the most unflattering photo to prove that I was justified in leaving. Nobody cared that my divorce wasn't final for almost 3 years. The second it was announced, we announced it at 9 a.m. By 9:15, we started what we called the divorce list. People's publicists started sending my publicist, well, now that she's single. Nobody cared that my divorce wasn't final. It was drop that zero, get you a hero. Nobody cared. Because he had the audacity to not work and to gain weight. So when we read this, you know, these tabloids and the blogs, and when we try to choose sides when our friends break up or our family members break up, just know that rarely will you ever get the truth. You're going to get the first person to the microphone. Think about that when we're offering compassion. And when we decide we know the whole story. There might be more than one victim, and there might be more than one villain. And sometimes it's a push. But that's what happens when you are accountable for yourself and you ask other people to be accountable. That was a super long-winded answer.
When you're talking about, there was a chapter in the book where you talk about mittens and being a Black woman in a white space, and this is you as a celebrity. This is Gabrielle Union, who people know, still trying to diminish ourselves so that that other people feel comfortable, white people feel comfortable. And you're still dealing with this now. What advice do you have for women who are going to read that chapter and men who are going to read that chapter about getting through straddling that divide without losing ourselves?
So I wrote this chapter. This is one of the last chapters I turned in because this actually just happened last winter. So you know we all do that dance of how to make my white friends, coworkers, neighbors feel more comfortable. So my old college roommate, when we were at UCLA, he took the bus. And so the walk to the bus stop to school and then the walk back was through a very, you know, predominantly white community, but a very affluent community. He stayed UCLA down to the socks. UCLA sweatshirt, UCLA shorts, UCLA backpack. And that backpack was supposed to signal to our neighbors, I'm one of the good ones. You know, growing up, my friends and their parents would say, you know, there's niggers and then there's, you know, there's cool Black people and you're one of the cool Black people. Oh, I didn't realize.
There were differences.
I didn't notice that at my family reunion. Are you who are my good Black people cousins and who are the niggers? I'm sorry. Can you separate yourselves?
Right.
I'm not sure. I'm confused. But it's all the things that we do, how we change our tone. You know, that tone that we have when we're at work. And we say, no, Bob, that's an amazing idea. I did come up with that 3 years ago, and
Yeah.
You guys shot me down, but no, Bob,
Yeah.
I love the way you delivered
Yes.
that. And I will have that report on your desk, even though I trained you to now be my supervisor. Or you do the sing-song voice. I don't know, Bob. I'm not sure. I'm just happy to be here. Or you try to like phrase things in the form of a question, even though they're not questions. Well, the research shows, I'm not sure, but I think that you do the up talk.
Yeah.
All in a way to avoid being reported to HR. How do you communicate facts without sounding aggressive? How do you communicate your experience in the office or in your neighborhood without somehow coming across as threatening or making someone uncomfortable? So in the chapter about mittens, we were living in Chicago last year, and it was dead of winter, and I was walking to the gym, and I had my hood up, I had my hat on. You know, it's cold, it's freezing. I literally had about this much. You know, all you could really see was my eyes, and that I was black. And I was aware of this when I left the house. And so I'm coming across, you know, there's a group of women on the sidewalk, and so I do my sing-song voice. Excuse me, ladies. And they turn around, like super sweet, and then, thanks, ladies, as I scuttle past. And as I just past, I hear blah, 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 thugs. Now, I don't know if they're talking about me, but I internalized that. So the next day, as I'm about to leave for the gym, someone had sent me an array of gloves and mittens for my pleasure, whatever. And I thought, let me put these mittens on, because thugs don't wear mittens. You know who also doesn't wear mittens? Adults. Because if you can't do anything with freaking mittens. Can't do anything with mittens. Holding a gun is like the least of your worries if you put on mittens as an adult person. But I thought I could somehow make my neighbors view blackness, view my black body in what they felt was a white space more palatable. And I'm here to tell you that being your most authentic self, however it is that you speak, wear your hair however the hell you want to.
Yes.
Put on whatever clothes that
Yes.
you see fit. Because there's not the right tone.
It's not.
It really doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
I voice Nala on The Lion Guard. I have a few lines in every episode. It's the easiest job I have. I come in sweats and a hat. I'm like, I mean, where's the booth? So I have this line, right, where there's a gorge ahead, and Kion, my lion cub, is about to fall into the gorge. And I yell out, I'm supposed to yell out, Kion, look out. That's it. So I'm in the booth, and normally I do this job. I can do it literally anywhere. So normally I would do it via, you know, a satellite booth, right? I'm very rarely in the same area as the producers or the director. So I'm in the booth, they're just on the other side of the glass, and I say, Kion, look out. Whoa, sounds like you're gonna hit him with a hairbrush. I mean, you love your child, you're not angry, you're just warning him. Okay, I'm thinking, I mean, I was stuck in traffic, maybe that came out, I was a little annoyed. Let me try this again. Okay, yeah, take two. Kion, look out. Wow, I mean, it's still, if you feel very angry, I mean, this is your baby. You love him. You're just warning him that there is danger ahead. This goes on, you guys, for literally 13 takes.
Wow.
And finally, I'm like, I don't know what you're hearing, but this is how I would talk to my own child. And the fact that it doesn't sound loving, or it doesn't sound like I'm offering a warning, or I don't know what you're hearing, but I think it says everything about you guys and not about me.
Right.
And I also did it with this face, because this is also one of the other, the things that we do as we try to deliver the harsh truth. It's like when we say, like we use the phrase unconscious bias, but it's really freaking conscious. Like you're making a conscious choice to be like super biased and racist and sexist and homophobic. But we say unconscious bias because we kind of want to let you off the hook and make you feel like in the deepest recesses of your mind, you might be harboring some like racist tendencies, but I'm sure you didn't really know. But we want to acknowledge your piss poor behavior. And so we're going to call it unconscious bias. But you knew you were pretty certain that that was a racist joke when you said it. You were pretty clear that you were disciplining half your class, differently. You were pretty clear that grabbing your coworker's boob was probably not the right thing. But we're going to say unconscious bias because we don't want you to feel bad as you get on your personal journey towards not being a jackass. Woo. So I say all this to say, be your authentic self.
Thank you.
You are never going to be everything to everyone.
Right.
And when I'm saying, Kion, look out below, and you're hearing rage, when I left there, I was so pissed. I got in my car and I was, you do that anger, shaking, crying thing that makes you even more pissed because you're like, I'm not crying, I'm angry and I don't have the words. Ooh. And then I thought of Sandra Bland, who was so well aware of her constitutional rights, and she was speaking passionately, and it led to her murder. You can't tone yourself out of the bullshit. You can't put mittens on the bullshit. You can't sing-song your way out of the bullshit. This is not our fight. Exist, live your best lives, live your most authentic selves. Just the other day, so this is something I struggle with my damn self. Just the other day, I was in a negotiation. And my manager is literally sliding me notes to say. I'm like, yeah, I got it. And in my mind, I was gonna do either sing song or pose it as a question. I wanted to close the deal, you guys. And it's A, I was the only woman in the room, and B, I was the only black person in the room. And these are my coworkers, these are my team that I'm about to embark on this amazing journey on, right? But we all have different ways that we're trying to kind of slightly screw the other person and get a better deal. And so when it came time for me, I'm also doing this in the middle of a book tour. The night before, I probably slept about 2 hours. I'm tired. And I have to leave to catch a plane. So I'm listening to them talk, and I can feel that they're trying to manipulate me into a bad deal. And I just hit him right between the freaking eyes. I was so tired that my delivery just didn't come out the way that I had planned it in my mind. I was just incredibly clear about exactly what I wanted and exactly why I wanted it. And I don't know if you think you're dealing with Boo Boo the freaking fool, but it's not me today. And I've got a plane to catch. And then I got in the car and I was like, oh, that didn't go right. And I'm panicking that I've just screwed up the deal. Because I just spoke my unfiltered truth. I asked for exactly what I wanted without a filter. I was my most authentic self. What the hell is gonna happen? By the time my plane landed, they said,